Hi, this is Jelly Bling. How are you today? Today's project is a project I've had on my desk for months. It's using Jar of Flowers, which is in the current catalog. I'm using some shaker domes, and the shaker domes from the Jar of Flower stamp set and punch, these are current, but the shaker domes are gone. But before you think, well, how am I going to do this? In the catalog, page 16, you can easily replace it with Bottled Happiness, and this is also current. These are all current other than the domes, and domes are available for $8 on page 141. So you could still accomplish the same thing, or you could just put a window sheet over the punched out hole and maybe just put a little bit of shaker in there. So it's definitely doable. And I'm using a few products that are retired, but for instance, the green designer paper, you could use any color you have, anything you have, any little trinket you have. The effervescent elements, those are available. So I want to do another card like this. So in Jar of Flowers, there's 4 seasons, or I try to make the roses Christmas. Spring with tulips, summer, fall, and winter. And I'm also using Very Best Occasion. And I might use a little something from, this is a retired set. I have it handy just because it has a different jar that fits everything. All these little bits and pieces fit everything. So whatever you have that will fit in the jar or inside will be perfect. Inside versus words, however you like. So this is the summer. I want to do the springtime one. And I started to do it, and then I thought, you know what? I'll just show you how to do it, even though everything isn't exactly current. And I'll put the paper cut sizes on my blog for all these little papers. So this is going to go here, this is going to go here. So to get started, I will take this piece of white paper and I'm going to stamp the jar on here. Because when you look through here, see how the jar is stamped in the background? This one I did in Pool Party, and this time I want to try it in Memento. So here's the jar. You know what? I think it's this jar here. I might try this other one because I just haven't used anything in here. It's the same thing other than this one has like little highlight, glass jar highlight marks on it. Will that fit? Pretty close. I think I want a bigger block. Okay, well I just have a really big block. But that's okay. And I could see that this stamp is a little bit flexible. So just plop it down and then put it on. If I was trying to put it on, I know that I would distort the shape of the jar, and I don't want to do that. And don't tell anyone, with polymer, I like to just rough them up just a little bit. If you want to do that, do it at your own risk. I think I've mentioned a few times, I had a girlfriend doing that, and she sanded off the dot on her eye. She's so disappointed. I don't blame her, but just a little bit so that the ink has like little micro grooves to settle into, so it doesn't get all beaded up. Okay, so you're going to stamp this low on your paper and in the center. Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp the stems on here. And the stems are Jar of Love, they're right here. And don't tell anyone, or pretend like you don't notice. that these stems, sure, they might go with the roses and the sunflowers and the summer flowers, but I don't know that they go with the bulbs, but that's okay. I'll just color them, pretend like they do. I'm going to put it up a bit high. Probably could have gone a little bit higher, but that's okay. And then I'm going to color them to match this greenery, which is apple. And because it's going to be in the shaker dome and there's a lot of movement, it doesn't have to be perfect coloring. So I'm just going to apply both light and dark granny apple green, not taking the time to blend it at all. I just want all these little twigs filled in. Also with the glare from the dome, you really don't, it's hard to focus on these stems. Okay, so that's granny apple dark and granny apple light. And here I'll take time to fill them all in the best I can, 100%. So when I started out this project, it's like, oh, what designer paper should I use? And like, where do I start? So I found the best thing to do was to color the bouquet. And after I got that done, it all just came together. I'll show you the others. I spent way, way too much time coloring. They look really good. I know it's going to be good, but it's a lot of time. Okay, so here is summer, or spring, summer, fall, and winter. And I'll do these in the next video because I'm going to have a different type card for these ones. Okay, so this I'll need to cut off right here. And yeah, you have to hand cut it. And cut it really close to the edge of your greenery. Just because this is going to go on top of the bottle. So after you have this all done, this is just going to get dimensionals and put on top. So you don't really want a little white border down there. Okay, so the next step, and I had to Google and go through all these people's videos trying to figure out, how do I do the shaker domes? So stamp it low on the paper, right where you want the dome to be. Do whatever you want on the inside. Then punch it with the punch. Then if you want texture, like this one has a little bit of texture, which I picked out this embossing folder because to me it kind of matched this designer paper. Oh, and this designer paper is really fun, really pretty. Where did I put that? It's really spring-like. This one here, and it's called A Washin' Beauty. Fun paper. Oh, here it is. Granny apple. Granny apple. I mean, if you cut, you could do flowers on a card, just put words on it. Isn't that fun? Or cut these out. I almost used that one, but I thought it would get too busy. I love the blue, balmy blue. Got that, and this one, that's pretty. And on the back is green. Love designer paper. Okay, back on task. I'm going to texture this. Hold on. So that's textured. So let's get all these pieces. I'll show you what's next. I don't want you to have to wait while trying to figure out how to do the domes. I'm trying to do for you what I wish that I could have found. That goes there, there. This can be any kind of paper. It probably should have been white, but I had that handy. Okay, shaker domes. Look how cute are those. Comes 10 in a package, just like the Bottled with Happiness, 10 in a package. And there's adhesive, super strong adhesive on this side and also on this side. What is that? I can't have no little... There it goes. Okay, so to do this, we are going to put it in here. So I'm going to remove this strip of protector paper. Then that goes right over the top. Very convenient. Give it a good smush. Okay. Then the little effervescent beads. So when you put these in, don't put too many. And I say that because learn from my mistakes. One time I did a card and it was the snow globe domes, and I'm like, I love the glitter, I love this. I put so much in that it was full way up to here. You couldn't even see the scene behind it. I just had to throw it out. So you want just a little bit in the bottom. That's all you want, so that it will shake, so that you could see your image through there. Okay. So this is a perfect little scoop. Can you see how much I'm putting in? Not too much. And dump them in. And remove this little thing. And this is the jar that we punched out to make the hole. That just gets set right into there. I had a hard time with this when I did the first one. And it came out a little bit crooked, but if yours comes out a little crooked, it's okay. But just do your best. It's like my finger is sticking. Okay. You can probably see the little gap over here, but it's fine if that happens. Okay, so I could see a gap over here just a little bit, but it's okay. Then put your little vellum sheet on here, and that seals it in, and give it a good smush. So the shaker part is pretty much done. Oh, and you know what? I wanted to try to wrap a ribbon around somehow before I did all this, but because on this one I wanted the ribbon there, and I just ended up having to glue dot it there. And I was kind of wondering, is there a way to wrap it around? I don't know that there is. So like I was saying, instead of a piece of vellum, you could use any cardstock, anything you have around. If you like, a window sheet is good, or a white cardstock, but you don't want to use a color opposite of what your base paper is, because if you flip this over, you don't want to see polished pink peeking through the edges. Just something a little bit neutral or the same as what you're working with. Okay, so shaker dome part already ready. Then this is going to go onto here. And there it is. You see it coming to. It's already happening. And there's a little bit of static going on. So one girl, when I was watching the videos, she put hair gel, a whole bunch of it in there, and then she covered, instead of the backing, first she put a piece of window sheet, then she attached her punched out jar, because the window sheet is clear, you could see it through, and that kind of sealed in the hair gel. One girl, she put hand sanitizer in hers. And personally, I use hand sanitizer on all of my blocks and my stamp pads because it cleans everything up. For instance, see on here, you could see a little bit of black ink. I mean, it cleans anything up. And if there's any adhesive on here, hand sanitizer, I've got it right there. So I'm afraid that after a little bit of time, the hand sanitizer might kind of like erode the adhesive, but it looked great. And she had glitter in there and stars in there, and it's kind of moving. One girl put water in with glitter. So we have a lot of fun with this. Okay, so for this is going to go on here. So I will, well, that works well when it's all colored together. I wonder if I want to do, like maybe I'll take, before I attach this, okay, because this is so thin, I'm going to do a triple bow. And then I'm going to like triple it over and wrap it around my flower before I put dimensionals on it. Let's see if that will do it. So I kind of want to cover up that seam somehow. So I think on every one of mine, I'll have some kind of bow or ribbon or something on it. Okay, so if I triple this over, 1, 2, 3, and then put adhesive here. Where's that super sticky? Stamp and seal. I think I put Stamp and Seal Plus in here. Okay, that's super sticky. And I want to keep it down at the bottom. That's really sticky. Then I'm fine if it twists a little bit. That'll keep it all together. Oh, I think it's going to work. Look at that. Can you see how the ribbon is just at the bottom? That was the goal. Okay. This stuff is very sticky. So now I'll put dimensionals on here. I'm going to kind of hold it in place. It's like ribbon, baker's twine, you stay right there. Not too high because that might go up over the top of the card. Okay. So that's okay. I think this will make it better. That's cute. I like that. Okay, so a glue dot. I'm going to fold it in half because that's just too big. Okay, roll it up like a burrito. Then put it on here. And then on here. Okay, I like this one. But my glue dots have a tendency to fall off or get distorted. This will definitely hold it in place. Okay, shaker card part done. Now the rest is just the card assembly, and that's pretty easy. I do have a few tricks. So, I had to figure out what to put on the inside. First of all, granite gray inside layer. Okay, and I'm not going to attach this. I'm going to stamp on it first. And that we'll do in just a minute. So, to make this card, this is going to go here. This beautifulness is going to go right, maybe in the middle this time. Because this one was off to the side, and I couldn't find words big enough to fit in there. Okay, I'm liking that. Okay, so to put it on here, get this in place, and I'm lining it up with the bottom of the card. And this centered. And then put your adhesive from right here up. Okay, and now to attach this piece, I'm going to put my adhesive on the underside of my shaker dome piece from right about here down. That's a little tricky. I probably should have put it on that Granny Apple designer paper, but this is so sticky, I think this is going to work just fine. And get this one back in place. And close the door. There it is. So for the inside, on this one I just did the flowers that were right here, stamped a whole bunch of times. Oh, I didn't tell you, this I found online, Creative Juice by Loni Spendlove is the one who came up with a card very similar to this. So I pretty much copied her, and thank you, Lori, for sharing. Okay, so how about, I'll just do it off to the side. Well, then you'll see it through right here. Okay, I'll do it right in the middle. You know, sometimes you don't want to write too much, right? Okay, right in the middle. Oh, I wonder if it's going to be obvious that the stems don't match the stems. Well, I have a second chance of getting this lined up. Okay, and the springtime bulbs. Because this is polymer, I should be stamping with the pad. Oh, that just takes up the whole inside of the card. Well, let's just go with it. And I think I have some small words. Hello. Hello. That's kind of fun. Okay, so for a bit of coloring, because I'm not going to put a shaker dome on the inside too, I'll do a little pool party, pretending like it's water. And light pool party to kind of fill it in. Oop, there's a dog knocking. He has to come find me. He found me. I might have to get him. He's going to knock. Beware. And coloring. So, just a bit, there he is. He's knocking. Hold on. You want to come in? I'm the dog doorman. Let him in, let him out. Okay, so this is going to take a little bit of time to color. I'll do some of it, and then just have the final product on the pictures on my blog. Yeah, this one isn't quite lining up that good. Green, green, lots of green. I love Granny Apple. So I'll finish the green. I was going to say I'll do the flowers, but it's probably not that much beyond that. The tulips are kind of fun to color. So I'll show you about those and then I'll call it quits. Okay, so a few more green. Isn't it funny how you think you're done and you're not? There's more. Okay, so for the tulips, these I used, did I put the colors over here? Apple, spruce, flirty, polished, balmy, saffron, papaya, and coral. So I'll just show you about the polished pink and flirty flamingo flowers. So here's flirty flamingo. And just go around the outside edge, wherever you think it should be dark. And then this one I was a little bit heavier with the flirty flamingo dark. Just trying to make him look a little different. At first I like to do 2 layers of color and then blend it with the light. Okay. And flirty flamingo light. Second layer. I got a new phone. So through Verizon, they say, the phone you have right there, we'll give you $800 for it. I'm like, you're kidding. And then you could have this one for $810. So I'm giving them my old phone and paying $10, which works out to be 87 cents a month. And it's new and it's nice. And it went so easy. And somebody says, well, you know that you just signed up for another 3 years. And it's like, well, I've been with them for 20 years. I think that's okay. I'm just surprised at how easy the process went. I think it was 15 minutes. They said you could go shopping, come back. In 15 minutes, everything will be transferred. Sure enough. Polished pink. I like me some pink. And polished pink light. This marker is running out of energy. And I don't know that I have a replacement. Come on, just finish the flower. Okay, and then I'll go back and blend it. I had to go through all the ringtones trying to find my regular ringtones. I found them. Okay, so I will color in the flowers before I take the picture and put it on my blog. But at this point, this could go right in here. And we've made a shaker card. And I've got that other style. I'll show you that. I'll save the Christmas one for the video, and I'll do the sunflowers for the sample with the other layout. Okay, so if you get this, nice, cute, you can always say, happy birthday, and sign your name. Have a great year. You don't have to think about much. Okay, so there it is. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you have a great weekend. Bye.